Today's lesson is going to take a little bit from everything that we have learned before. So we'll learn a little bit about variables, a little bit about control blocks, a little bit about randomization, a little bit about game making, and a little bit about animation. So we're going to pull it all together in today's Easter themed exercise. Okay, so happy Easter, everybody. I cannot wait to show you this game. The first thing I want you to do is remove the cat, because our cat does not need to be in this game. On the top right corner of the cat sprite down here, we hit the garbage bin, and then we now have a blank slate. Where is our Easter egg hunt taking place? Well, we want it to be in a garden, bushy area. So go choose a backdrop. And I want you to choose an area that's going to make sense for an Easter egg hunt, okay? I'm going to choose one that I would recommend, but you can choose a slightly different one if you want. We probably shouldn't do it in the castle, because the castle is probably not a really fun place to do an Easter egg hunt. A blue sky is good, but I'm going to choose forest, which is down here. Okay, forest is probably going to be the most fun. It's going to look really good. You can choose jungle as well if you want, but I really like forest. So I'm going to choose forest. All right, this is the nice little backdrop. And this is how we're going to make the game. We're going to make the game so that there's going to be a bunny rabbit that the player can control that moves down the bottom here, going left and right. And then we want some Easter eggs to be dropping from the sky. And then we want to keep track of how many Easter eggs that the person has caught. And then we're going to also randomize so that we change the color of the Easter egg each time, so that the Easter egg is going to have a variety of colors. So first of all, let's go and do the egg. Let's go choose a sprite. And then to find an egg, you go into the search bar here, and then you type in egg. How do you spell egg? It's E-G-G, egg. Okay, choose an egg. Now we have an egg in the middle. If I'm going too quickly, I'll just repeat again for some of the kids, because this is a class for 7 to 9-year-olds. Okay, so in case you're 7 years old and you haven't got a hold of it yet, this is what you do. You go into Choose Sprite, then you go into the search bar up the top here, and then you type E-G-G, egg, and then you click on the egg. Okay. That's how we choose the egg. We hit costumes on the top left side here, and then you'll see that this egg already has a bunch of costumes. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The one that we want is 1, okay? So we keep that there. But now, everything else we don't need. So we hit this, this rubbish bin to delete them, okay? So I want you to delete everything except for costume 1, okay? Delete, 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 delete. So now we just have a plain old egg, all right? But before we go any further, we want to make 5 different versions of this egg. So I want you to right-click on this costume right here. You see my pointer? You go right-click, we go duplicate once. Right-click, duplicate, right-click, duplicate, right-click, duplicate. Duplicate it until you have 5 eggs that look exactly the same, just like that. So I want you to decorate each egg so that it looks different. How are we going to decorate it? Well, I'm going to start off by showing you how to do the first one, okay? So hang in there. We go, you have it selected. And then you see this fill square. You click on the arrow on the side, and now we can change its color. Okay, I'm going to make it blue, a blue background. Okay, I'm going to leave this white bit here because that's the shiny part of the egg. That doesn't need to change. We just change the background area here. If you make a boo-boo, if you make a mistake, then you can go and undo it, okay, by pressing this arrow, okay? And if you want to redo it, you press this arrow, okay? All right, I'm going to make this a polka dot egg. So now I've changed its color to bluish purple. I'm going to add a circle. Add a circle, but then I'm going to have it use yellow polka dots. So I'm going to move this slider up the top here. And now I'm going to draw a circle like that. Draw 3 circles, 4 circles. I think that looks really cool. So that is my first spotty egg. So you do your second egg, and if you already know how to do it, then decorate all the eggs, okay? So by the time you finish decorating all the eggs, we can continue on. So you go select your egg, and then you click on your egg, okay? So you click on the arrow, and then click on your egg. Click on this arrow, click on your egg, and then you change the fill color. So you click on this little arrow, and then we adjust these bars to change the color. Okay. So now I have a pink egg. And now I'm going to draw on it. Okay. So I'm going to add, do the paintbrush. And then I'm going to change the paintbrush color to say green. And then I'm going to draw some wavy signs. Okay. So that's another egg design that I've created. And now you have to go through to each egg and design each egg to be different. Okay. So I'm going to design my third egg. After I've designed all the eggs, I'm going to give you some time to make sure that all your eggs are done. Okay. So in case you are a little bit slow, that's still okay. Now I'm going to have an orange egg. I'm going to put some diamonds on it. So to make a diamond, all you have to do is choose the square. I'm going to have some purple diamonds. And then what you do is you drag a square out, but then you can rotate it sideways, and that's how you create a diamond. Okay. Right. Then the fourth egg. First of all, we hit the arrow, choose the egg. What's a color that I haven't used? Maybe green. Green is a nice color. Green, and let's do some stripes. I'm going to do some red stripes. Okay. Then my final egg, I'm going to have this like a chocolate egg. So maybe I'll have brown. Oops. This looks tasty. All right, it's gonna be brown, and maybe I'll have some honeycomb chips on it. So I'm gonna have some orangish circles on it as well. So this is like a chocolate and honeycomb egg. So now that we have an egg with a whole bunch of costumes, we go back to the code. Now, what do we want this egg to do? Well, we want this egg to trigger on the event of when the flag is clicked. Okay? When flag clicked, we start triggering. And then what we want to do is we want it to start all the way up here. So drag the egg up to the top of the screen, pardon me, as far up as you can go. And then you go into motion, and then you go to X, Y. Okay, and as long as your egg started up the top here, then that's all we need to do. The Y value should be around 149 or 150, around that. Doesn't have to be exact. So when the flag clicked, we start the egg from the top. And then we want to make it so that the egg is dropping down to the ground. And then once it reaches the ground, we want it to start up the top again. Okay, so let's go back into it. So when the flag is clicked, we go X goes all the way to the top, and then we're going to give it a forever loop. Forever loop. And then inside this forever loop, we say if then else. We want to say that if it is dropped further than the bottom of the screen, then it goes back to the top again. Else, it drops further. Okay, so if it is further than the bottom of the screen, that means that the Y value, the second number here, has gone to a very low number. Okay, a negative number. So let's drag the egg down to the bottom and let's see how far we can go to the bottom. The Y value is negative 156. So we'll do that. So we go into operators. If the Y value is less than 156, so less than is this arrow that's pointing to the left in operators. And then we drag it into the if condition. If what is less than, oh, it's negative 156, sorry. Make sure it's negative 156, minus 156, not just 156. If what is less than 156, well, it is sensing. And then it is, oh no, not sensing, it's in motion. It is the Y position. Okay, if the Y position is less than minus 156, then we go back to the top. So we go repeat this same block again, go to XY, and then keep the same numbers. Okay, so we go to XY minus 142 and 149, or whatever your values are, and then go here. And then after that, if it's not underneath, if it's not too low, then what we wanted to do is we want to start dropping it. So now we have to change the Y by minus 5. Change Y by minus 5. And now you can see that the egg is dropping like that when you click on the flag. So, but we want to change it so that it's randomly going, dropping at different places on the map. Okay, so we want to change the X to be a random position. And the random position is between negative 200 and positive 200. Okay, let's say, so here we go into operators, and then we go pick random, and then instead of 1 to 10, it is negative 200 to 200. And then we put it in the X position of go to X and Y. And then here we put it on the X position of this as well. Okay, so now if it's dropping, it should be dropping at different parts of the screen each time. Okay. But now, now that we have the egg coming in over and over, we also want to change the costume of the egg. Okay, so instead of going all the way down and then going all the way up and have it looking exactly the same, we want it to look like a different egg each time it's coming down. And now that means that we'll have to start repeating this code, like go to this random number and Y, and then also change its costume. But we don't want to do that all the time because that is going to make it so that your code is very repetitive. And in order to fix that, we do a my block. Okay, so go down to the left-hand side, go down to the my blocks. And remember last time how we did a my block? This is what we do. We go make a my block, and then we call it reset egg. Okay, a reset egg. And now we're going to define reset egg, and it's got to be exactly the same as as this block here. So all we have to do is go drag this block from the if statement down here to define reset egg, and then we replace it with reset egg. Same with this one over here. We drag that away, and then we replace it with reset egg. See how we replaced these two repeating bits of code with one bit of code. Now we go and replace our costume. So here you go into looks. That was good spotting, Orlando. Well done. So go looks, and then we go next costume. Okay. So now when we hit reset egg, we changed our costume, and also we reset the position to that random place up the top. Okay, so now if I play it, you'll see that it is going to change its costume each time it goes up to the top of the screen. Okay. All right, now we're almost there, almost towards the end. Now, what I needed to do is to find a rabbit. Let's add the rabbit. So choose a sprite, and then we type in rabbit, R-A-B-B. And then the rabbit is a little bit big, okay? So we change its size to 50. So now our rabbit is going to be a proper size. And then we keep it down the bottom here. This is what we do. We give it another event for when the flag is clicked, because that's like when we are starting the game, when flag clicked. And then we are going to go give it a forever loop. So go control, go forever. And then we're going to have it forever going to the XY position. Go to XY. But for the X, we want it to be whatever the person's mouse pointer is. So we can go to sensing, and then we go mouse X. So go to XY, where X is mouse X and Y is whatever it is at the bottom of the screen. So if I press play now, you'll see that the hare or the rabbit is following my mouse. And now we are going to try and get our egg to crash into the rabbit, and then when it touches your rabbit, you're going to have the egg disappear and go back to the top again. So let's go back to our egg. So make sure your rabbit, all your code for your rabbit is done. Because now we're going to go back to the hard bit with the egg, okay? So go back to the egg. So now, this is all the code we have for our egg. And we know that because we have the picture of the egg on the top. So when the flag is clicked, starting from this block, make sure that you double check all your blocks to make sure it's looking like the blocks that I have, okay? And then now we need a new if block. So we're going to control. And then we just need an if then, this one here. Okay, if then. And then we slot it in just after the change y by -5 block. Because straight after it's moved, we're going to check if we are touching the rabbit, if this egg is touching the rabbit. So if we want to check if something's touching something, we go into sensing. And then we go if touching mouse pointer, but instead of touching mouse pointer, we change that to rabbit. If it's touching the rabbit, then what do? We reset the egg. So you go back down to my blocks, and then we go reset egg. And then we press play. And now, if the rabbit touches the egg, it's also going to send the egg back up to the start. And now the final thing is to add the score. So we need to go into variables. So go into variables, and then we go make a variable, and then we go score, S-C-O-R-E, for all sprites. Make sure it's highlighted. and then you go OK. All right, so I'll do that again. You go into variables, you're going to make a variable, and then the variable name is SCORE, score. Make sure it's got for all sprites, and then you go OK. So now you have a score up the top here. It says 0. So now, after you've touched the rabbit with the egg, then we are going to change my variable by 1. But instead of change my variable, we are changing score. Oops. Change score by 1. So if you touch the rabbit, we change our score by 1 and we reset the egg. And that is your full game. So now you have your rabbit that is moving around. You have your egg that is changing patterns. And you are keeping track of the score of your egg counter. Okay? So take care, stay safe, make sure you have a great Easter, and best wishes to you guys and your friends and family. Okay? See you later.